All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the DFS experience for Wednesday, May 3rd. Quick video, only one game. We're starting with DraftKings. You want your captain spot? You want your captain spot to be someone that's going to produce a hefty amount of fantasy points. Just listen to what I'm telling you, because I know everybody want to experiment with different things, but listen, you have a slate where you have guys like Tatum, Harden, Brown, that could go off for 50, 60 fantasy points. And if they're in the captain spot and you don't have them, you lose. So that's why you don't want to dick around with your captain spot. You don't want to put, PJ Tucker or Grant Williams or something like that. You don't want to do anything like that. Now these two teams have, what's the word I'm looking for? These two teams have players that are capable of putting up decent fantasy points. So there's really no bad options. Tatum, if there's no Embiid, Tatum and Harden will be one of your first choices, but you got to be careful on DraftKings as you spend up for salary, then the salary gets smaller in your utility spot. So you got to be a little bit strategic. Me, I usually like to go not mid range, but I wouldn't spend like on this slate. I'd probably look at Maxey or Harris, somebody in the 11K, 10K range. I don't like Paul Reed. I don't like his usage. The problem putting Paul Reed at captain is that he's gonna have zero plays run for him. He's got to rely on dump offs, being under the rim. He's got to rely on alley oops or offensive putbacks. That's gonna be his only offense. He can't give you peripherals. He can't give you rebounds, but that's not somebody you want in your captain spot. If Tatum or Harden or Brown go off, you're cooked. You see what I'm saying? If you have somebody like Maxey that could get you a decent amount of fantasy points, you'll still be in the game. Harris, same thing. Harris, I didn't like it. I didn't like his last game. I didn't like his fantasy points last game. Felt like he could have done a little bit better. 33 fantasy points with no one beat on the floor, 8 for 16. He played 42 minutes. That's not good at all. But I'd go right back to him and hope that he had a better game. Tyrese Maxey, he's another one. 39 fantasy points. He took a lot of shots. He missed a lot of shots. He's scoring dependent. He can't get you steals like you see here. He's risky in the captain spot also because he is scoring dependent. If you could play Jaylen Brown, but you definitely got to get creative as far as filling out the rest of that utility. But my captain player pool: Tatum, Embiid, Harden, Brown, Maxey, Harris. The buck stops there. If you're playing a lot of lineups, you want to throw Al Horford in one. Brogdon, Derek White isn't playing so hot right now, but if you were playing a few lineups and you wanted to make Horford or Brogdon your captain, that'll probably be okay too. But just don't get too cute, because, like I said, if these guys go off and you have Brogdon and Horford and they're not having an amazing game, night's over. Captains: Tatum, Embiid, Harden, Brown, Maxey, Harris. You'll put an asterisk next to Horford and Brogdon. And as far as utility, Tatum, Embiid, Harden, Brown, Maxey, Harris, Reed, Smart, Horford, White, Brogdon, Melton, if there's no Embiid, Bobby Williams, no PJ Tucker for me. The rest of these guys you can't really play, to be honest with you. You got to look at game one. You see what they did with Jalen McDaniels. I think they played him like 8 minutes. That means he's not in the rotation. Every series is different. Usually, these coaches take the first two games to try to feel out the other team. Doc Rivers put Jalen McDaniels in, took him right back out, didn't really put him back into later on in the game, and didn't play him for that many minutes. That means that he doesn't want to play him. That's what it seems like. I don't know. I wouldn't play Jalen McDaniels. I wouldn't play Grant Williams. Boston is down. I'm not saying they don't trust Grant Williams, but are they going to run plays for him? Is he going to get hot and give you a fantasy score that you need? He played 4 minutes in game one. What does that tell you? That tells you that the probability of Grant Williams being your savior is slim to none. Keep it short. Keep your player pool short. Tatum, Embiid, Harden, Brown, Maxey, Harris, Reed, Smart, Horford, White, Brogdon, Melton if there's no Embiid, Bobby Williams, and unfortunately, that's it. If you plan, if your last man in is Gorgie Nang, and you love your lineup, that's fine because at least Gorgie Nang is going to get some time on the court. He could fall into a few threes and a block or 2 rebounds or whatever it is. But other than that, Sam Hauser, how many minutes did he play? 5 minutes. Don't play these guys. If you're playing a lot, listen, if you got money to burn, you're playing a lot of lineups, listen, you can play whatever the fuck you want. You want to play Matt McClung? You can play Matt McClung. You can play whoever you want. But if you're playing 1 or 2 lineups, keep it classy. You feel me? You guys know what to do. Do the right thing. Don't be cute because it's going to be early night. You're going to be on your couch watching the Cosby Show. And then you're going to be all pissed off. Nobody wants that. If you're new, welcome. Thank you for watching. Appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. Please don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell, thumbs up. All that is absolutely important. You guys have been doing that for me, and I really appreciate it. If you're struggling to cash, I know these playoffs suck, but I can help you. I can send you my finalized optimal lineups, or I could build you your own lineup. Just check out the Patreon link in the description. FanDuel, pretty much the same thing. I know a lot of these shows don't cover FanDuel. That's why I try to touch on FanDuel real quick. But it's the same player pool. The only thing is paying up in your MVP spot. It doesn't mess with your salary for the next spots. Tatum absolutely should be putting in your MVP spot. Tatum, Harden, Brown, all viable. Embiid will probably be hobbled. I don't think I want to pay 16.5 for someone that's hobbled. Maxey, I'm be honest with you. I don't see superstar vibes with Maxey. Maxey just seems to be a very good I don't even know what you want to call it. I don't know. Maybe I'll give him another game to judge him. I'll give him another game, but I'm not getting this superstar vibe from Tyrese Maxey. He seems like just a guy to me, but for this series, he's fine. No Embiid, we should be playing him, but he should be taking over. You know what I'm saying? No Embiid, this is his time to show us who he is. I don't feel like he's doing that. This whole season, anytime he's played without Harden or without Embiid, he hasn't shown us anything. So that's why I feel like that. But I don't know. Maybe it's me. Listen, MVP, Tatum, Harden, Brown. You really don't need to play Maxey or Tobias because what's the probability of Maxey and Harris outscoring Brown, Harden, and Tatum? Not very likely. But if you want to be different, I know a lot of you like to be different. If you want to be different, you can play Maxey, Harris in your MVP spot. Hey, no problem. But when Tatum goes off and he's dropping 109 fantasy points on your head in that because the double points, and you're not as over, can't look to me because I'm telling you how this is gonna go. Your MVP spot should be somebody that's gonna produce a lot of fantasy points. I see it all the time. You can't dick around on FanDuel. If Jason Tatum or Harden or Brown have the highest probabilities to get the most fantasy points on the slate, and you willingly play someone else to be different, and they go off, and your lineup is dead, you definitely got to look in the mirror and say, "Hey, I'm Boo Boo the Fool," because you were told I'm giving you the blueprint for FanDuel. MVP, play the player or one of the players that should be in a position to give you the most fantasy points. Every slate is different. Every team is different. Tatum could go off. Tatum could go off for 65 fantasy points in that double spot. What that means? What does that mean? You feel me? So don't try to be cute. Keep it classy, and you'll see green at the end of the night. Let's just go over this player pool, and I'm out of here. Tatum, Harden, Brown should be in your MVP spots. If you're playing a lot of lineups and you want to experiment with Maxey or Harris, feel free. Your star, same thing. Tatum, Harden, Brown, Maxey, Harris, maybe Horford, maybe Brogdon, if you feel it. Pro, all right, pro, you can ease up a little bit. Tatum, Harden, Brown, Maxey, Harris, Paul Reed, Horford, Smart, Brogdon, White, Bobby Williams. And that goes for utility too. But if you know that these guys aren't getting minutes, don't play them. If you know PJ Tucker isn't producing, taking shots, don't play him. The rest of these guys are viable. Listen, I gave you the keys to the kingdom. It's up to you to do whatever you want to do with them. I'm gonna go in and get out of here. Hope you had a profitable night. Yeah, thanks for watching. Check out the Patreon. I appreciate each and every one of you. And I'm out of here. I'll talk to you guys later. Ciao.